As we're underway in this series, number 15 Clemson, mentioned they had a 2 next to their name just about 3 weeks ago and have since lost 3 consecutive ACC series. Not what we have been used to seeing from Clemson throughout not just this year, but really the past couple of seasons. The Tigers, certainly one of the powers not only in the ACC but nationally under head coach Eric Bakich, and they're trying to end the regular season on a high note before that conference tournament next week, Mitch. And with the expansion of the ACC, all 16 teams will be there in Durham.
Absolutely. And gone are the days of, pool play, and then you end up playing games that don't really matter for anyone because both teams are already knocked out of the tournament. It's a single elimination tournament. Every single game matters. Different coaches in the league have different opinions about whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's going to be interesting as a fan no matter what.
So Cam Canarella led off with the strikeout, well done by Patrick Gardner, and now it's Josh Pano who comes in on a 5-game hit streak. Senior third baseman from California for the Tigers.
Canarella not the best at bat, 3 quick pitches and disposed of by Patrick Gardner, but on the flip side, it's a great start for Patrick Gardner. It's something pitching as a whole has struggled with is walks and giving away free bases, and every single game you can't get behind in the count. You can't give away free stuff, especially to a team that's as talented and as opportunistic as Clemson. So that's a good start for Mike Bell's club.
So here's Pano, the senior third baseman. Leads the team in RBIs on the season. Comes into Clemson after 3 years at California Baptist. This is first year with the Tigers. 1-1 pitch taken for ball 2 here by Pano.
Career shortstop at Cal Baptist was Pano. Made the shift over to third base for the Tigers this season. And obviously has been pretty solid power threat. Neither of these teams really with a ton of home runs on the year. Only a couple guys on each team in double digits, but Pano has been that. When he hits them hard, he hits them hard, and they go a long way.
Yeah, these teams rank 14th and 15th, Clemson and Pitt respectively, in the home run category on the season. 2-2 breaks into the zone, Patrick. And he starts off with 2 Ks to begin his evening. Colin Priest in the 3 spot today for the Tigers, team that won their first 6 ACC series of the season. Number 2 in the country in late April and have struggled over the past 3 series. Of course, it is partially a testament to the strength of the conference. It's not an easy league to play in. And Gardner hits the knee there of Priest, and he's going to be the first Tiger base runner of the night.
You see Gardner a little bit frustrated there. He'd been going so well, been so sharp early on, and then gives up the hit by pitch there to Priest, and who's still kind of walking it off down the first base line. But that's one thing that Clemson has done well. We told you they don't have a huge power threat, but they get on base a ton. You see they lead the ACC in hit by pitches, and after that, it has been timely and opportunistic hitting that has scored a lot of runs for them this year.
Brings up Luke Gaffney with Priest now on first. Just missed on the outside there from Gardner. Gaffney, sophomore first baseman for the Tigers. He's been swinging a hot bag. See that season average at 287. And he's got 5 hits across his last 2 games.
Clemson's a team that they don't get blown out very much. Even the losses that they've had recently, they've been a lot of close games. So it's not as if the wheels just entirely fell off over the past few weeks. They're still in a lot of games. It's just, you know, like you said, it's a testament to the quality of teams that are in the ACC, top to bottom. Obviously, Pitt kind of towards the bottom of the ACC, but Coach Bakich was telling us earlier that, you know, when they play well, they can beat anybody. And I think that's pretty much true of every team in the ACC.
One-two outside, and Eric Bakich specifically referencing that in regards to the ACC.
You can turn a single or a walk or hit by pitch into a double, and that's something that, you know, for a Pitt team that sometimes has to manufacture runs, isn't going to string a ton of hard hit balls together all the time. That's something that Pitt really needs if they're going to continue to play throughout the postseason.
You know, achieving milestones is nice. When you get to do it in PNC Park, I think it makes it even better, right?
That's something special for sure. One of the most beautiful ballparks in the country, no doubt. And that's
Did you say one of the most?
Well, listen. I don't want to offend any other fan bases we have listening. I'm a Braves fan myself. I love Truist Park, but it's PNC is something special for sure. If you're ever in Pittsburgh, you got to catch a game.
Yeah, enjoy hearing Mike Bell's perspective on that. And he said a lot of people ask him what's special about playing over there at PNC, and he said it just allows his guys to become big leaguers for a day. A really neat experience for them to get to do that as Canuck strikes out Padano. And Mitch, we've seen 4 outs in this game, and they've all been strikeouts. A ball has not been put in play yet.
No, save for the one hit by pitch from Pat Gardner against Priest. I mean, it's been really clean. Obviously only threw 4 hitters, but 2 3-pitch strikeouts to some good leadoff hitters for both of these starting pitchers, and it's moving quickly through this one so far.
In a line out there, the ball is put in play by Caden Doolin, and quickly
shaded more towards second base than he normally would be, and 4 pitches and 2 outs for Aiden Canuck.
Brings up Luke Cantwell, senior veteran leader for the Panthers, plays at first base. And Cantwell, Mitch, you and I were talking before the game about him. He's very efficient at the plate, and earlier this season didn't quite have the power that he had last season, but starting to turn it on a little bit more as of late.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's not a stereotypical first baseman. You know, we talked about David Padano, stereotypical leadoff hitter. Luke Cantwell kind of functioned as a leadoff hitter for Pitt at times and was the leadoff hitter as well. He gets on base a ton.
An appeal down to third base there. Chris Booker says Cantwell did not go. 2-2 from Canuck. Another 2-2. And another foul ball by Luke Cantwell. This is what he does at the plate. He's persistent, grinds out at bats, and he ranks 3rd in the ACC in walks on the season.
Yeah, it's like I said, like he's not going to be a guy who tries to lift the ball out of the park every single time. You know, he views a walk as a win.
Swinging at strike 3. 2 strikeouts from the home pitch.
You know, the Big Ten in Michigan is like Northern baseball is not, you know, it's not the main focus, but it's he's done an incredible job throughout his entire career, and certainly the same can be said for his time at Clemson so far, and including this season.
That trip in 2019, the first time since 1966 a Big Ten team finished as the runner-up in the College World Series. So to your point, Mitch, you don't always see that from the northern schools in the Big Ten Conference. A testament to Eric Bakich and the job he did there with the Wolverines, and has had a very successful stint at Clemson so far. One of just 6 programs in the country to finish with 44 more wins in 2023 and 2024. So 44 wins or more, only 61 teams to do that. Clemson was one of them in each of the last 2 years. And they're a team that is a lock for the NCAA tournament. And as much as they've struggled recently, the fact that you can say they're still a lock tells you how good they were early in the season.
Well, they were borderline unbeatable for a while, but yeah, it's like we said at the top, you know, the ACC, top to bottom, you can lose any game, you can win any game on any given day, and you know, it's been close games and a couple things haven't gone their way. They've played some marathons, and it's just a tough league to play in. And you know, they're still one of the better teams in the country, but obviously struggled a little bit recently in the ACC.
Swing and a miss from Listy as Patrick Gardner continues to cook on the hill for the Panthers. 4 outs, all. Really impressive start from Gardner. His season high in strikeouts, by the way, is 6. So he's already 2/3 of the way there. We're in the top of the 2nd inning.
Listen, if you're going to start playing your best baseball and throwing your best stuff at any time in the season, of course, we're talking about it and he throws the ball to the backstop. But if you ever wanted to pick a time to figure things out and start throwing your best pitches anytime you want, right now is the time to do it if you're Pitt or if you're any team who's looking to make a little run in your conference tournament.
Hit the one you're looking for.
Back up the middle, off of Gardner. Zuckerman scoops it up barehanded and can't quite get it over to Cantwell in time. And Gardner is down. He's quickly back up, which is a good sign, but still going to have Mike Bell walk out and check on his starting pitcher.
Boy, that does not feel good for Pat Gardner. Looked like it got him right on the knee somewhere. Looked like maybe that left knee.
The Tigers.
Creighton is one of a number of Clemson Tigers who have connections to Michigan. And obviously, we talked about Eric Bakkich's time at Michigan and brought a couple of guys with him who were committed to Michigan when he got the Clemson job. And Creighton is one of those.
Guy in the on-deck circle as well, Jaron Purify from Detroit. Was talking to Coach Bakkich. A lot of guys that were thinking they were going to Ann Arbor ended up following Coach down to Clemson. One count here to Creighton on the outside. One away here in the top of the 2nd. 4 strikeouts for the Panthers starting left-hander Gardner. 4-4 record on the season for the senior. 2-1. Hard hit grounder to second. Doolin over to Kendro and throw to first, not in time, but the Panthers do get 1.
Doolin a little bit. You'll take the out and keep the base runner the same way, though.
Yeah, I think he knows he could have turned 2, but it was hit in a spot that forced him to move away from second base. And like you said, probably would have wanted that one back, but Panthers do get the 2nd out. And the first Panthers defensive out that was not a strikeout tonight. Hill, a good start for him.
Or whether you flip your hips and throw straight up to second base, it's going to be a tough ask with the ball taking you away from second base. But obviously, Doolin felt like he should have maybe done something different there.
Runner on the move, it's Creighton. Ryan Zuckerman to lead off the inning after Pitt went down in order in the first. Good pitching performances from both sides so far. We have seen 6 strikeouts in this game, and we're only through an inning and a half. 0-2 to Zuckerman. Swing and a miss. Aiden Knopf.
Fans will call an airbender. It's really just a changeup, but it just moves weird. I don't know how to explain it. You just have to watch it. And you know, most changeups will kind of fade away arm side a little bit, and his doesn't fade arm side. It kind of dives just straight down or almost to the glove side even at times.
Nice.
He had enough room to make that catch.
Yeah, tough play on this sunny night in Pittsburgh. He's battling the sun, battling the fence there in the foul territory, but yeah, I think as a fielder, anytime it grazes the glove, you want another chance, right?
No doubt about it. Just like Doolin with that double play turn last inning for Pitt. Probably going to want that one back.
Nestler thought about it. Takes it for ball 2.
Normally on these pop flies, you'd be battling the wind here at Charles L. Coffey Field. And you've seen that wreak some havoc on some visiting teams and on Pitt as well throughout the year. But pretty calm, quiet night here wind-wise.
Strike 3 looking on net.
Canuck will not make any arguments with the call. That's a heck of a pitch executed for a strike.
And you love to see this start from Aiden Canuck. Talked about how good he was last year, and for a large portion of this season was pitching at an elite level as well. 7-1 record on the year, but does have a 5.49 ERA across his last 7 coming into this one. So has been a little bit more vulnerable than we saw last year. And so tonight, Eric Bakich certainly has to be pleased with 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings for his sophomore right-hander. And this time a 4-pitch walk to Sebastian Pisacreta.
Well, maybe Canuck saw our scouting report on Pisacreta swinging a hot bat. Nothing really close to the zone there from Canuck, and Pisacreta is aboard. 2 outs, runner on first. We'll see what Lorenzo Carrier can do with it.
You think he might have watched the Open tonight?
Maybe he might have. You know, they got PitchCom devices. Who's to say you can't put the ACC network on there?
Well, good to see Lorenzo Carrier back in the starting lineup for the Panthers. He missed about 18 games across April due to a hamstring. Back in the lineup for Pitt, and a really big hit for him in that Tuesday game at PNC Park. Had his first home run since returning from injury, and Mike Bell telling us how big that was for his confidence to display his power again. And you know what he's capable of doing. He's a transfer from Miami, so you've seen in the ACC over the years just how much damage Carrier can do on the offensive side. That was a big homer for him on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I mean, Pitt's going to love to see that back. We mentioned how they haven't had a ton of power threats, and if Carrier can get going late in the season, hit some more balls like he did at PNC Park this week, and Pitt's going to be pretty happy with that. He's a guy that when you watch batting practice, it's like, oh, this is a different kind of guy with a different kind of swing. Ball just jumps off of his bat to all parts of the park.
Big 6'5" frame from Lorenzo Carrier, the redshirt junior, originally from Delaware. And he faces the 1-2 from Canuck. And just foul down third base.
I think that might have been the changeup again from Canuck, because Carrier was pretty far out in front of that. His front foot landed, and then he had to pause for a second. It's worked just like everything's been working for Aiden Canuck. Aiden Canuck is feeling that changeup, and that's bad news for the Pitt lineup.
Panthers still looking for their first hit of the night. Canuck looked like he went back to the changeup again, Mitch, and he gets strike 3.
Some kind of off speed there. Looked like maybe a curveball, but whatever it was, it's worked just like everything's been working for Aiden Canuck.
Often here in the ACC portion of the season provides you that chance in interesting perspective when you have the last at bat. He didn't necessarily say the physical advantages of being at home, being in front of your home crowd, but the baseball advantages of having the last at bat, getting the opportunity, and then what those walk-off wins can do for your culture and the morale among your team.
Yeah, it's an interesting perspective for a team like Pitt, who, you know, if you're up north, as far north as Pitt is, you have to start early in the season on the road, and that maybe that gives you a chance to come together as a team. But you're right, it doesn't afford you the opportunity to come back late in games all the time. And Pitt's had a few comeback wins, a few walk-off wins as of recent, and there's nothing that builds your confidence more than getting a walk-off win, coming from behind to win a game. And they've done that a few times. They've also had a couple of blowout wins. Obviously, earlier this week against Penn State at PNC Park was a huge 15-1 win for them. So it's the right time for Pitt to find their confidence as they head into the ACC tournament.
That one got away from.
This when Clemson gets hit by a pitch, they are jogging or if not sprinting down to first base. They love it. They love getting guys on base.
And speaking of guys getting on base, Chufo is going to take the opportunity to take second. Andrew Chufo gives the Tigers a runner in scoring position. And Clemson team, we talked about it, they don't have too much power, Mitch, but once again, 2 hit batters tonight. They rank first in that category on the season in the ACC, and they've kind of mastered this small ball approach. It's not too often you see a team ranked 14th in the ACC in batting average, but number 15 in the polls in the country.
Yeah, it's something that, like, you know, you can have off nights, but if you can manufacture your own runs and
Gardner has been in tonight through 2 innings. Cam Canarella smokes one into left field. Chufo comes around. Panthers hit the cutoff in Zuckerman, and the base hit does not score the run from second. So you've got runners on the corners now, but the problem for the Panthers is still nobody out here. And in doing so, Canarella extends his hit streak to 13 games and now a 35-game on-base streak for the junior center fielder from Hartsville, South Carolina, Cam Canarella. Think about a guy like Canarella from South Carolina, former ACC Freshman of the Year. He's got to be pretty close to mayor status in Clemson, right?
He's got a probably free meals anywhere he wants to go in Clemson. I mean, it's a school and a town that loves their baseball, and I mean, what better guy to embody the kind of fighting spirit that this Clemson team has? He is just so much fun to watch. He's a spark plug. I mean, he is the dictionary definition of a spark plug. Makes unbelievable catches, puts his body on the line in center field, gets hit by pitches, walks, slapping singles to all parts of the field. He's got a little bit of pop in there too, so he's really a well-rounded baseball player and going to have a bright future at the next level.
ACC Freshman of the Year in 2023. Could argue he was maybe the best freshman in the country. 97 hits was the most among D1 freshmen in that 2023 season. Gardner is keeping an eye on him over at first. It's a 1-2 count to Josh Payno. Payno looks at ball too low. With runners in scoring position on the season, he's hitting .353.
And that's how Clemson's been scoring their runs. You know, when they have runners on base, people have been just coming through for them. I mean, Payno is obviously an incredible batting average of runners in scoring position, but really up and down the lineup, you see a lot of clutch, timely hitting from this Clemson team.
Two-two count. Gardner to Payno with runners on the corners for Clemson and another foul ball. And Gardner made it look easy through the first 2 innings of this game. Of course, he did take a shot to the left shin, but aside from that, he's been efficient. Now some trouble in the third inside, and he hits Payno to load the bases.
Things starting to unravel a little bit for Pat Gardner here. I mean, a couple of free.
Haven't seen any visible effects from that ball to the shin, but it's unfortunate that he took it, because now you're going to continue to wonder what if that hadn't happened. After the start he got off to, I mean, that was the turning point, and has struggled since taking that ball to the shin, and now the struggles continue here into the top of the third.
Yeah, it's a fair question to ask, whether he's still kind of feeling that a little bit. I mean, he's a tough kid. He's not going to want to come out of the game by any means. He's going to want to fight through it. He's a competitor, like we said at the beginning. But yeah, I think you got to ask the question of if he's still feeling that a little bit. And you know, pitching is such a mental thing. Like, if there's some part of your body that just feels a little bit different today than it normally does, it can throw you off quite a bit. And obviously he's hit a couple batters since being hit himself. You got to wonder whether that's still impacting him a little bit.
It was off the single from Jacob Jarrell in the second. That was the first Clemson hit of the night, and so now Panthers have to deal with a lot of Clemson traffic. We'll see what they can do. Colin Priest, 3-hitter for the Tigers. Great opportunity, lines out to Kendro, and that's a great start for Gardner. And
gets the first out of the inning, a very loud out off the bat of Priest.
Yeah, loud out, but pretty much an ideal out for the Panthers. Only required Gardner to throw one pitch, and gets it out there. No movement on the base paths, and now Zuckerman will decide to go to second. In the turn, the pick from Cantwell, but not quite in time. So Panthers were nearly able to turn two and get out of this unharmed, but Chufo does. And it is a double play. Wow, okay. So the double play is the official ruling from the umpires here. And Mitch, you and I may be surprised by that one, but hey, Mike Bell will certainly take it.
It's hard to tell without talking to him and getting his thoughts, but it seemed like just a simple human error. And in explaining it to Mike Bell, he kind of realized, oh, I might have made the wrong signal here. And all is returned, and it is as we thought it was. For a second there, I thought we were watching those replays and getting the wrong read on what we were seeing, but
yeah, and it is important to point out the umpires are not necessarily looking at the same angles that we are seeing here. So for a moment I thought, well, maybe they're looking at a different angle that makes him look out at first. And so glad that it does appear the right call was made, and Clemson leading 1-0 now with those two runners still on and two away here in the top of the third. Nice spot from Gardner, and Gaffney takes second with Canarella over on third.
Yeah, Gaffney trying to make something happen there a little bit. Kind of ran a little steal and stop there. Kind of stopped halfway to second base, trying to induce a throw from Pisacreta to allow Canarella, the big hustle guy, to come home. Maybe as the throw goes down to second, but Pisacreta didn't bite, and looks like Pat Gardner might be out of this inning.
Jake Kendro makes the catch in shallow center. It was bases loaded, nobody out. Clemson only on the score sheet first. Oh-2 quickly to Melendez, who pops it up in the shallow right center field. Canarella is over for the easy catch and the first Clemson out.
That ball's hit about a mile in the air off the bat of Melendez. Cam Canarella didn't need that much time to get over there. He's a very efficient route runner in the outfield, able to camp under it easily. And Aiden Canuck continuing to work, continuing to deal and be very efficient about it. Only 32 pitches through 3 1/3 already. That's that'll play in any league on any night, and continues it here with a strike to Kendro. But the fastball velo is kind of down, I think, from what we expected to see from Canuck, but still been just as effective with the changeup, the fastball, and then working in the curveball every now and then as well.
And he forces another pop-up here, this one over to first with Gaffney, who makes the catch. And you are absolutely right, Mitch. He is looking near flawless on the hill through 2 2/3 here in his 14th start of the season.
It's all about efficiency. Pitching is all about efficiency and working ahead and being able to throw your entire arsenal of pitches and not being forced to throw a certain pitch in a certain count. And Aiden Canuck is absolutely dialed in right now.
Yeah, look at the mentality, too. He's standing there, balling glove, waiting for the batter to step into the box. And he just seems to be, like you said, dialed in. And he does it every pitch. Padano's taking his time, but Canuck just looks comfortable, confident for a sophomore. Really impressive mentality he's got on the mound.
Yeah, he doesn't even take any step. You see Mike Bell coming to talk to Padano here, trying to slow it down a little bit. Canuck has not moved a muscle. I mean, I don't know how much more in the zone you can get than Aiden Canuck right now. This is it's almost funny, but it's also impressive. Like,
you got to tip your cap to him.
Just a sophomore. Look, his catcher's not even.
He's not
looking
budging.
at him. Jarrell is just taking his time, stretching his legs out a little bit. Canuck is not moving. I mean, he is as locked in as humanly possible right here.
He really is. Now he begins that windup with an 0-2 to Padano. Check swing, and he did not go.
Obviously, we're in the pitch clock era, but I don't even know if they've gotten to turn on the pitch clock for Canuck. He's been working so quickly.
Yes. Now a 1-2. Got him swinging. Aiden Canuck is locked in with 6 strikeouts for Clemson through 3 innings.
Can't say enough about Aiden Canuck throwing that changeup, getting some change. Obviously, you saw the home run numbers. He's equaled his previous 2 years combined home runs. And just this season alone, he has really come on strong in his 3rd year with the program.
Back up the middle again, and again converts. Jacob Jarrell gets his 2nd hit of the night. Both of them right up the middle for Clemson.
And if I'm Pat Gardner, I'm thinking twice before I throw him anything in the zone anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 pitches hit almost identically right back up the middle. Gardner kind of reached for that with his glove hand and almost got there, kind of looked down at his glove afterwards and was like, just missed it. But good job by Jarrell. Just not trying to do too much, just sending it right back where it came from. That's going to give you good results most of the time.
Brings up Jack Crichton. He had that ground ball to second base back in the 2nd inning, which nearly resulted in a double play for the Panthers. Crichton, the junior, in his 3rd year with Clemson. Highly touted 3rd baseman out of high school, now playing right field for the Tigers. Pitch outside there from Gardner to make it 1-2. Away, and Crichton connects on it to right field, but Carrier is over to make the catch.
Lorenzo Carrier playing right field. He's got his sunglasses on top of his hat, not on his face. Kind of fighting the sun a little bit there. Obviously didn't have any issues catching that ball, but it's a questionable choice always when you're looking straight into the sun and got your sunglasses right on top of your head. But hey, if it works, he caught the ball.
Ball went in the glove,
complain too much.
Right? You're right, though. You can see the sun beaming off his glasses there. Only interesting thing is the glasses are atop the cap. Jaron Purify for Clemson. Tigers' 2nd baseman having a sensational year. Big leap from last year. Hit only .248 in his freshman season. Has that up to .291 as he looks at strike 2. Purify, another co-captain on this Clemson team.
Yeah, the guys up the middle on this Clemson defense, Jarrell behind the plate, Purify, Chufo up the middle in the infield, and then Canarella in center field. I mean, people talk about traditionally the heart of your defense right up the middle is the heart of your team, and they embody that perfectly.
Chase to pitch on the outside. Kendro makes the play at second for the second out.
Well, a third tough turn for the Pitt Panthers and not able to get it there. Purify, though, he runs really well. It was very little chance that they were going to get that double play turned, but like I was saying a minute ago, to finish that thought, I mean, the heart of the defense is the heart of the team, and Clemson is certainly exemplifies that with those guys they have up the middle, both on the defensive side of the ball and on the offense as well. And got to see Purify run a little bit there. He's as smooth and as quick of an athlete as you're going to see on any baseball diamond.
23 stolen bags on the year for Jaron Purify. Good for 7th in the ACC. And because of that, Gardner wisely keeping an eye on him over at first base. And now he's on the move. Throw down from Pisacreta is too high for Doolin. And he is in.
Year from that catcher spot, but not able to do it there.
Chufo down the third baseline. Purify is going to score easily, and Andrew Chufo is in with a stand-up double.
Going to just put some hits together, timely hits, and manufacture some runs.
And how about those runs coming from the 8 and 9 hitters in the Clemson order there, with Purify reaching and getting himself in scoring position before Chufo sends him in.
Well, you'll take that every day of the week, turning that lineup over, getting from the 9 back to the top of the order for the Tigers. And if you put a run across, that's even better.
Cam Canarella quickly down 0-2. Opportunity for Clemson to increase that lead. 4 hits now on the night for the Tigers. One of those from Canarella in the third. Inside, he looks at ball 1. Guy who burst onto the scene with a .388 batting average his freshman year. .316 here in his junior season. The 1-2 fouls it off to stay alive.
And as efficient as Canuck has been for Clemson, having that pitch count down really low, Gardner's starting to work into the 70s in pitch count so far through 3 2/3 and continuing to have a battle here with Canarella. That pitch count starting to come up a little bit. No movement at all to speak of in the Pitt Panthers bullpen, though.
Really big at bat here. Gardner trying to get out of the inning. Canarella wants to extend it with a runner in scoring position inside. Almost looked like that for their first hit of the night.
It was close, but Gardner's been working Canarella inside quite a bit. But Canarella almost took what looked like it might have been a defensive swing there, but able to hold it back and has worked the count all the way full, come all the way back.
Payoff. Tapped into left field, retreating is Nestler, and makes the impressive catch there near the track to keep the margin. And every game's going to be high stakes.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, baseball, anything can happen. Probably in baseball more than any other sport. I mean, you just need one pitcher to have a good night, and all of a sudden, as an underdog, you're comfortably winning baseball games. So certainly as a fan, it's going to be a really interesting tournament. Obviously, every game is high stakes. None of these teams are going to want to go home, but there's maybe some teams towards the top of the league that say, hey, or maybe in the middle of the league that say, hey, we need a little protection here. We want to advance, win a couple of games, and have more chances in the tournament to win those couple of games instead of just one and done. So it's certainly, we get mixed feelings on it from both of the head coaches here tonight. But I think as a fan, this is what you want to see. There's never going to be a meaningless game in the ACC baseball tournament this year.
Well, it's what makes the postseason so exciting in a lot of sports, where you have that do or die one game scenario. And you know, you can debate all you want about what is best for the teams and what is the most fair and what will result in truly the best team winning. But I think one thing is certain, and that's that it makes it most exciting for fans when it comes down to one game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's, you know, conference baseball tournaments, if you've never been to one, they're just so much fun. I mean, if you love baseball, there's nothing better than getting 3 or 4 games in one day. You can just stay at the ballpark all day, soak in the sun, and watch some good baseball, certainly in college.
You've done it before?
Several times.
Yeah.
Several times. Been to several conference tournaments, and usually at a cool park. Obviously, ACC in Durham at the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. It's an excellent stadium. Was there just a few weeks ago. And
good take by Cantwell there to draw the walk. Canuck put it in an excellent spot, but Luke Cantwell knows how to get on base. Does so there and gives the Panthers a runner here in the bottom half of the 4th.
yeah, Cantwell has one of the best eyes in the league, maybe in the country. On base percentage has been up over 500 at several points this year, and not a huge base stealing threat, but can't score runs unless you get runners on base, and he's been excellent at that for Pitt this year.
Cantwell with a .504 on base percentage coming into tonight, which is good for 2nd in the conference. I mean, every time he steps to the plate, he's getting on base 1 out of every 2 times.
I mean,
that'll do.
That will absolutely do at any level. I mean, they made a whole Hollywood movie about that, about getting on base, called Moneyball, if you haven't seen it. But yeah, that's the name of the game. Like I said, you can hit all the home runs that you want, but if they're solo home runs, they don't count for very much, just the 1 run. But this guy Zuckerman has put a few over the wall this year, and with Cantwell in front of him, they're much more likely to be multi-RBI home runs than solo.
What does he do, Pete? Tell me what he does.
He gets on base.
That's an all-timer. Two here from Canuck to Zuckerman. Tucked him in. Tough one for Clemson. Throw from Pano is just in time. Nice play by the Clemson third baseman to charge and beat Zuckerman by a hair over at first.
I was just thinking about a bunt that heck of a job there by Pano, the career shortstop. Shows you the versatility and athleticism and the unique arm angle as well to get that throw on time over to Gaffney at first base.
Now Nestler, a chopper over to first base. Tough play, and it gets away from Gaffney. Nestler's aboard.
I think Gaffney's going to want that one back for sure. I mean, it's a tough play, kind of an in-between hop. It took a huge hop and then landed kind of directly in front of Gaffney at first base, who was kind of behind the bag. And you think maybe he'd like to almost act like a catcher a little bit. Gaffney has caught a couple games this year. Kind of block it up, keep it in front of you, which to be fair, he did a good job of, but then just couldn't handle it, trying to pick it
away, and then it looked like he had it again. It got away again, and ends with runners on the corners for the Panthers. 2 away. Pittsburgh still does not have a hit tonight, but this is their best opportunity to add one in the run department.
And Pisacrete is probably the guy you want up in this situation with the way he's been swinging it recently.
That one drifts into foul territory over at third. You're absolutely right. Told you about Sebastian Pisacrete in the open tonight. with a .471 average across his last 5 games. Coming off a 3-for-4 night Tuesday at PNC Park with a double and 3 runs driven in. Big spot here for him. Pisacreta, a .309 average with runners in scoring position on the season. Good 2-1 just missed from Canuck.
Boy, that wasn't by much.
No.
Just barely off the inside part of the plate. Good eye from Pisacreta, who's now in an advantageous position, up 3-1 in the count.
And got a piece of that one from Canuck. And we were talking during the break, Mitch. His changeup and his curve look so similar. What was that one from you?
Yeah, it looked like a changeup.
Yeah.
At 74. I mean, he doesn't throw the curveball a ton, but that changeup is as good as any pitch in the country.
And he gets Pisacreta for the 3rd out. And the Panthers stay scoreless. Aiden Canuck, the sophomore right-hander,